Three, two, one, one, two, three, three, two, one.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Commissioner Cooper, but it's not football time. It's time for basketball. Well, unfortunately, it's not time anymore for the basketball, as we are done, unfortunately. As you can tell by my jersey, I'm not really feeling that. Let's get it started. It is the 3P Jones, but tonight, let's just call it one-on-one. Welcome into the studio, Jones in for Sports.
What's going on, Coop? How you doing? How you feeling after that loss, man? You know I gotta ask.
Yeah, we'll get into that. I mean, I'll be just right off the jump. I'll just say it again. I've been saying it. Was happy to be there, my friend. I mean, let's be real. With that team overachieved. Again, let me not get too far into. I'm gonna get into that in a second. First, though, while you're watching, don't forget hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. We're going to take a little vacay. Nat, unfortunately, is out for a couple weeks, so we're going to let her. She got God rest her. I would say God rest her soul. She deserves some time off. We're giving it to her. She's been great. So we're going to take some time off from the 3P after tonight. But hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because we will be back soon, and we'll be charged up for season 2, because we'll actually be beginning the beginning of the season this time, so it'll be great. Also, don't forget, go to Underdog Fantasy, use that promo code 3P. We're going to double that deposit up to $100. Don't get no easier than that. Ladies and gentlemen, all right, we just started talking about it, the finals, but it's the week on repeat. I wish this week would have repeated in a better way. Unfortunately, not. So as we were talking about it, again, this Miami Heat team, I feel overachieved. I think that whole, outsized, out superstarred, out whatever they kept saying about this Heat team all the way through the playoffs finally came to fruition, unfortunately, in the finals, in the grandest stage of them all. Here's the Miami Heat. It was very much being exposed because of the size difference with the Nuggets. But listen, at the end of the day, just like any other sport, but basketball in particular, it's all about matchups, and Miami just didn't match up with Denver, period. So we know Jokic had a great series, obvious MVP. I kind of made a joke with my wife as we were watching that final game, and I'm like, look at this guy. I mean, look how good he is. I'm like, he's like Shaq with skills. And then she looked at me and said, wait, Shaq didn't have skills? I was like, well, Shaq didn't really have to have skills. Right. Neither really is this Jokic how big he is, but Shaq wasn't out there banging those threes and doing whatever Jokic does. So that's basically what I meant by that. But really, really great series for him. Obviously closed out the Heat 4-1. What are you going to do? Like I said, just happy to be here, quite honestly. What do you think, though, my friend? How do you think this series went?
It played out how I expected. I expected Miami to get one more game, just because I thought, they went on this run throughout the playoffs. I don't think they're going to just fall out now, but I knew the Nuggets were just that much better. It was obvious throughout that series that Nuggets matched up way better than Miami did, and they made it look easy at times. But like you said, you got to give Miami credit for the run that they made to get there, and just to be in there. I don't want the games weren't blowouts. I don't want to say the games were blowouts. Yeah, it was pretty obvious that the Nuggets were just better, but even still, the Miami Heat made the Nuggets work for it as well. That's what I would like to say, that the Nuggets had to work for it. It wasn't that easy. But yeah, it was a big congratulations to the Nuggets. They deserved it. And Joker, he has gained my respect to another level after what I've seen, not just in the series, but throughout the playoffs. He was just amazing.
And the whole cast of the characters, Murray as well, came up
Yep.
big. Aaron Gordon played big.
Oh man.
You
He
know,
was
my
huge.
buddy's a big Magic fan. I'm here in Orlando, and I'm always busting his chops. And I'm like, I mean, this is where it's like the NBA farm team where guys go, they play a couple seasons, and then they go play for a real team and win a championship. And pretty much how the Magic dishes it out for the league. But big, like again, they stepped up. Like you said, the games were. Now, I appreciate you saying that they were close, but, you know, honestly, the games Denver won felt like they were in control most of the game.
Right. That's really what I meant to say.
Yeah, no, all good. Except for that last game, that felt like one of those closeout games, traditional. Anytime you have a closeout game, the other team's going to come, especially the Heat. They're already scrappy anyway, so you knew they were going to come bring it. Unfortunately, Jimmy Buckets fell short, and, you know, it was almost as if he turned into, and I apologize, I don't remember the year, but when LeBron first came with the Heat, and he came and they had that series with the Mavs. And man, if I'll be damned if you didn't hear me keep saying, take it to the hole every time, because LeBron would come in and he would try to dish it out. Or my favorite early LeBron move, I'm using sarcasm. He would literally sit there, like, you know, in the corner and just basically dribble the ball out until the 24-second clock was down to 2 seconds, and then take this fadeaway three. And it was like, what are you doing? Like, I just don't understand. There's no offense set up. There's nothing going on. Now, Jimmy, to his credit, was setting up offense, but I felt like every time he was coming down the lane, it was, ooh, who do I dish it off to? Not the, hey, this is my time. I'm the superstar. I'm going to take it to the hole. And there were opportunities I felt like, you know, he could have, but then I go back to, listen, like, I'm not, you know, obviously I'm not in these guys' shoes, you know, so, but playing basketball myself, you know, obviously recreationally, that kind of stuff, when your shot's off, your confidence off, and those little ones that I'm looking at home, like, bro, you could have just laid it in. He's probably looking at it like, yo, that's 50 feet away from me right now. Just the way he was playing, unfortunately. So anyway, just it was a very big showcase of superstars on Denver's side. Unfortunately for the Heat, their superstars didn't step up when they needed it. Bench, though, again, played great throughout the entire playoffs. I mean, talk about Caleb Martin. We could go on and on about this Heat team that just stepped up out of nowhere. Like I said, almost a la the COVID year when they're in the dome, stepped up out of nowhere. It was kind of like the same deal here. Very surprising to see them there, but again, excited that they were there and excited they at least gave them a bit of a game. But now, I'm going to just one last final thing I'll kick it to on the finals to you with, and just kind of kick this around. Obviously, Jokic was the MVP, but did you feel anyone else off Denver, do you felt like really, you know, there's some obvious guys you could point out there, but any obvious moments from any of the bench guys or anybody you felt like was a key during the series?
I think outside of Murray, obviously Murray is outside. I mean, Joker and Murray are the big obvious ones. But when you talk about, let's say, X factors, let's call them, Gordon and Brown were just amazing. They stepped up in every moment that they needed to, and all those wins. You look at what they did in those games, and it's just starting off with game one. Gordon just took it over, and that was the Heat had trouble throughout the series because of Gordon, and then Brown just hit shots when he needed to. He can get whatever he wanted. He shoot, take it to the rim, and I think those guys were the MVPs as far as the guys that needed to step up, like how Miami was doing for them throughout the series, couldn't do it in the finals. But I did want to say one thing about you mentioned Jimmy Butler, and I wanted to agree with what you said because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, why does he keep driving the fucking lane, and then he's looking to pass every time? And I'm like, what is he doing? Does he not know he's in the finals? They need 56-point Jimmy Butler right now,
Right.
not regular season Jimmy Butler. You know,
100%. And that goes back to that thing I was saying about LeBron. And let's correlate it with one other guy. How about Michael Jordan? And that's what I correlated to back then, because Michael Jordan had that instinct ability when it was getting down towards the end. Obviously, you knew he was getting the ball, and he took that bitch to the hole every time. And guess what happened? He'd either score or boop, probably 80% of the time, boop, you get a call, right? Because he's a superstar, and he gets the call. So, J-Bo, when it's that time, it's your time. Go for it, because guess what happens? You either score or you're going to get the foul, and you got to get yourself on. Now, he did get himself, on a little bit down, but it was too late at that point. And Bam, I mean, I don't, he's another one that I'm like, why? Now, listen, I'm about 5'6", and, I can probably got the hops of an ant. But I'll tell you one thing. If I had the ability that these guys had, I would dunk it every damn time, because that's just the way I feel. I would just be aggressive every time. Why sit back with this little fadeaway stuff? And why you're that big? Go dunk it on someone, and not only get the score, but get the foul too. That's just my, thought process. But some of these superstars, I just feel have missed that. And I don't know if that's this new era or whatever it is. But, to me, that's how you win games. You have that superstar at the end that says, give me the ball. I'm going to take this over. Y'all sit back and let me do this. And if I need to dish it, I know that you're there. You know what I'm saying? Versus J-Bo is like, let me find somebody to do this to right now, because my shot's off.
I just didn't understand that. And to your point about Bam Adebayo, however the hell you say his name, I think he had a great series. But like you said, he was taking a lot of jump shots instead of taking it to the rim. But I think that also had to do with he's 6'9" and Joker's 7 foot. So I think he was a little afraid at that as well. So
100%, that's spot on point, obviously. I mean, but and not only him, but everyone else on that roster had some size. So they were, at least, if anything, give him a little business while he was going up. So yeah, probably smart of him, actually, now that I'm saying it out loud. But he had a decent series rebounding. I'm not just banging on him, but like I said, when you got a big man like that, when you expect him to step up, obviously it's a big call. You're going against the MVP of the league. Totally get it. At the same time, bro, like, when it's time,
you still got to be aggressive.
We need you. You know what I'm saying? That's it. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We got a new Underdog commercial. Check that out. We had to update things. We kept talking about football from last year. Football right around the corner. So we got to get things ready. Go to Underdog Fantasy. Use that promo code 3Pete. Let's get it.
Fantasy Sports Corp and Underdog Fantasy have teamed up to start your fantasy season off in the win column with Best Ball. What is Best Ball? It's quite simply the easiest way to win. No team management, no trades, no waivers. It's their biggest contest ever, and it has only gotten bigger. You simply have to sit and win. You don't even have to set your lineup. Always get your best score every week. Just enter a contest, draft your team, and Underdog will do the rest. What could make this even better? How about free money, up to $100 using our exclusive promo code? Go online now and use the promo code 3Pete to double your deposit up to $100. You tell them Gingerbread sent you. Good girl.
All right. Well, let's put what was to bed finally and for sure. And go on about this next season coming up. We got a lot of free agents out right now, or about to be out there. So we're going to play a little game. I don't know if it's a game per se, but I'm going to throw some guys out there. I want you to tell me where you feel like they best fit. Let's go first. Obviously, the big name that's already been out there was Chris Paul. Where do you feel his best fit is at?
Chris Paul would be good in a numerous of spots. One of the spots that I think he would actually fit, who need a point guard, is Nats Boston Celtics. I mean, I don't know money wise. I haven't looked at all that stuff, but I think just looking at it team wise and fit wise, I think Chris Paul would be a great fit, especially if they keep both Tatum and Brown. Now they have a true point guard that can get them the ball, and now they don't have to do so much dancing around and looking stupid and causing turnovers. I think Chris Paul in Boston is a great fit.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Now, here's another guy. He's got a player option, though, but he could bounce out. James Harden. What do you feel like a best spot for James Harden would be?
I think now there's two options I have for James Harden. The first one is to stay home, stay there in Philly, and become not become, but start to revert a little bit back into the old James Harden, because we obviously see that you can do that, and that combination I think would work with him and Embiid. Now the other destination I think would work as well for James Harden is what was the spot? I had it over here.
Got you on the spot.
Oh, well, actually, no, I can't. I was gonna say back in Houston, but he wants to be in a contending spot. So, no, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to stay. He's gonna have to stay in Philly.
Stay in Philly. All right, we're staying in Philly on Mr. Harden. All right, how about this guy? He doesn't think the earth is round. How about Kyrie Irving? Where do you think his best spot should be?
Kyrie needs to figure out whether he wants to really play basketball. But no, the best spot for Kyrie, not. See, it's so tough to think about with Kyrie because you don't know what you're going to get from him. You know the talent that you're going to get, but you don't know exactly what you're going to get as far as when he's going to be there. Right. Personality.
Is it fair to say he's the Kanye West of the NBA? Or
that is a good comparison. That is a good comparison. I think maybe a place like I'm going to throw it out there. It might sound weird, but if they moved some players around, it wouldn't sound so dumb. But I'm thinking Atlanta, and you put Trae Young at the 2 instead of the point, because him at the point is not working out so well for him because he's led the league in turnovers the past 4 years. So having him with the ball all the time isn't great. Now, we obviously know he can shoot, and put him in position to shoot. You got Kyrie, who's a good passer. Yeah, obviously he's ball dominant as well. But you already have another ball dominant guy in Devontae Murray. So, I mean, why not add another one? Fuck it.
Well, they got to come with some kind of identity. Yeah. No, I mean, and you're totally right. I mean, that's a tough one to place right there, because, like you said, you never know what type of as far as bringing team chemistry and stuff on, he's someone you especially have to worry about, depending on who you have on the roster. I'm not wanting to team him up with Westbrook, say. That's right. Not, I don't think that would just be a good combination at all. Exactly. All right. How about Fred VanVleet from the Toronto Raptors? He looks like he'd be free agent. You got a good spot for him?
Absolutely. I think that was I saw it coming. It wasn't a shock to me. I know it was a shock to a lot of people, but it wasn't a shock to me because, his time in Toronto is up. He got it. He helped them get a ring, and they're not really going. It seems like they're in a rebuild. So VanVleet would be great in a New York jersey. New York. I don't know what we would have to do to make room for him, but I wouldn't mind getting rid of a few pieces if that's what it takes to get VanVleet. I'm just saying.
He wants him at home in New York as a Knickerbocker. All right. Well, how about, and man, I hope I don't mess this up, Nikola Vucic. I don't know if I'm even saying it still right. From the Bulls, where do you think be a good landing spot for Vucic?
Who needs a big man? Honestly, if the Bulls are, depending on what the Bulls are trying to do next year, if they're going to keep those guys, is Lonzo coming back? If everyone's going to come back, then I think he should stay there as well, because I think that's a team that's building. But doesn't look like Zach, who you're probably going to mention, Levine. It's possible. I don't know if he's still under contract or he has another year or two. But he's someone that's been talked about leaving Chicago. So if he leaves, then the whole thing is just thing. But I think Vucevic should stay in Chicago.
Appreciate you with the enunciation skills that I apparently don't possess. Let's go. Actually, we're gonna move on from our free. Actually, I got one other guy. I just want to mention him just because I saw him out there. He's got a player option, but where would you place this guy? How about Draymond Green? Who needs a goon?
Who needs a goon? Who needs someone to organize things? Now, depending on what you do in Philly, I think Philly's not too bad. He needs to be in a system where that's somewhat similar to the Warriors. It can't be anything less than that. Now Philly's not the same, so the only reason why I thought Philly is because of just what they have. He can work around stars, but it needs to be pace. It needs to be a team like Boston, a team like Sacramento, teams that got pace. Houston, but he wants to compete. So then again, a lot of teams might not want him because of what you're gonna get. Him and Kyrie are in the same boat.
It's interesting you said Philly because they need a little toughness. I think that was a good match. As soon as you said that, I was like, you know what? I like that matchup right there. I think that's a good one. All right, well, let's move on from our free agent list, and I want you to take out that crystal ball you got in the back, and we're just going to make some really early predictions, and I promise I won't save this for next year because this is way early. Well, maybe I will. All right, so prediction-wise, I just want to know, give me let's go East. I want an Eastern Conference champion. I want a Western Conference champion. I want a Finals champion, and then I just want a regular season MVP. That's what I want. You wrap that up in a nice bow for me. Give me some early ass predictions.
Okay, so as far as Eastern Conference champions, I'm going with the Bucks. I think Giannis is going to go for number 2. Western Conference champs, I'm going with the Denver Nuggets. After what I just seen, I think they have the best shot right as we speak right now. You said MVP?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
MVP. Shit. Why can't Joker do it again? Why can't he go get number 3? Why not? I think he's that good. Yeah, I'm going with Joker number 3. Now we're talking finals.
Yeah, finals. Just the final. Give me the champion.
So I got the Nuggets and Bucks going at it, which I think would be, a lot of people would have loved to see that this year.
Right.
Fuck.
But they didn't.
You know what? I'm going with the Nuggets repeat.
Okay.
Nuggets repeat.
All right.
Joker MVP, Finals MVP again.
I like it. I'm going to go, from what I just saw, I totally agree with you. There is no argument that the Denver Nuggets, and Jokic by himself right now is definitely, I think that's an easy MVP. He's, I think, the best overall player in the league. He brings every bit of every statistical category you could ask for from a player. He brings it. So easy MVP for me. I like them in the West again. But you know what? let's go those Miami Heat again in the East. And you know why? Because I keep hearing about Damian Lillard. I keep hearing those little echoes. And if I know Pat Riley, man, Pat Riley
He'll go
loves
get
to
it.
make some moves, and he's
He'll
looking at
go
the
get it.
series. Now, does Damian Lillard get us past the Nuggets? Nah, I still don't think so.
Right.
But it definitely makes us, I think, a way better seed than the 8th seed going into the playoffs next year. That I can assure you. Definitely make them a better regular season team. Again, I'm not sure if they would have enough to beat Denver. This team is just so good. But again,
Stacked.
that's reactionary because I just saw them win and dominate
Right.
my team. So, again, that's why we call them early predictions. What are you going to do? All right. So we're going to close things out for the 2022/23 season. Unfortunately, we kind of started at the end. So next season's going to be an exciting one for the Three-Peat Podcast, as we're going to come out before the season starts, so you'll get a whole lot of previews and a lot of good stuff coming out soon. So it's going to look a whole lot different and a whole lot better coming out for 2023. Jones, where can we find, subscribe, and get all your great content? My boy is on social media, by the way, 24/7. He's kicking it out for you. Go follow him. Where can we follow you at?
Absolutely. You can find me at Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and it's all at Jones and for Sports. I wish I probably should have put the my name as Jones and for Sports, but next time I'll do that for you guys so you guys can know where to find me at. But at Jones and for Sports and all pretty much all social media. Holla at your boy.
Yeah, make sure you go follow, subscribe, and get his good content, because while we're on our break, you can hear some great fill-in stuff from Jones. He's always on there doing some great shorts on there. So make sure you go follow, subscribe, and check that out. So we appreciate you guys tuning in with us for this season of Three-Peat, our inaugural season. We'll be kicking off season 2 soon. I didn't set a date yet, but probably be in 2 or 3 weeks or so. We'll get things reset and we'll get things started for another fun NBA season. We appreciate all of you. Nat, much love. Brian, thanks to you as well and your contributions. And we are out.